Roll roll up for another edition of Down with Boring. Do you think I'd make it as a ringmaster? The best new
Uh,
music podcast. I don't think I've got the enthusiasm.
yeah, I don't think. I feel like you would have a really good first week, where you'd be really great, and I think you'd just be like, "Oh, what's the fucking point?"
Yeah,
You
that
know.
is true.
Also, ringmaster. I always thought the ringmaster at the circus was like the weirdest job. Just kind of was like a compare, you know.
Yeah, I think the ringmaster also seems to do the stuff with the lion a lot.
Yeah, yeah. What's
But
that
surely that's
about?
the lion tamer's job.
Yeah, don't put
Why does the
yourself down,
ringmaster have
sir.
a whip?
Well,
Well,
asking.
well, well,
We all know
well,
that.
well.
Well.
New music. New music,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yes, new music, another week, another time, another fun edition of Down with Boring. We're going to be joined by Alice from swim school later on.
We are. I
Yep.
couldn't do that.
You've had a busy week, Jake.
I have had a busy
What's been
week.
going on? You've been celebrating St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. No, the reason I couldn't do that was because I had a meeting with an architect, then a meeting with a production company, and then I had a meeting with the senior management team at my day job.
Ooh.
None of those were interesting.
I'll be
I'm
honest.
sorry if you're listening, anyone who was at those meetings, but they sucked.
I can't believe he's just going into work.
Please, any corporate sponsors listening, pay us so that I don't have to do that in the future.
Give us money. We would love money. I really enjoy it. Yeah, join my swim school later by Alice. So that'll be very nice. Stick around for that. Now we've got our album. We're talking about Friends of the Show, Black Honey.
Friends of the show, friends of the magazine.
Friends of
Elvis Presley.
As it's known now. And loads more. Because, of course, that's how the show works.
But, Jamie, you've been busy too, haven't you? You've been sniffing around the venues of London town.
I have been.
And also, apparently, getting tuberculosis.
Yeah. If I make it to this, then that'll be wonderful. We've got some Dork Live shows coming up. We've been mentioning over the past few weeks on the show and kind of just always like, well, there is something, but I can't announce anything. But now we're here. It starts this Friday.
It's Paul McCartney at the Cavern Club.
Have you heard of U2?
At the Cavern Club.
Just dead keen on the Cavern Club.
Yeah, with Paul McCartney on bass.
Cavern Club is iconic, but obviously, have you been to Liverpool, Jake?
I have been to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Lovely city that lies to you about the Cavern Club.
Yeah, there's about 50 versions of the Cavern Club.
And none of them are where the Cavern Club actually was.
No. Yeah, because it's
they closed the original one and then went, oh, fuck, actually, that could be a really good tourist attraction.
Yeah.
We'll open one down the road.
Yeah, and there's that road, I can't remember the name of it now, but it's just like Beatles. Oh, there's the Cavern Club. But then you go and you're like, it's not the Cavern Club. What's going on here? Incredible.
But there is a bar that does shots of flavoured tequila for like £1. So, shout out Liverpool.
I can't confirm if those flavoured tequilas will be at the 100 Club this Friday.
They won't.
But £4 for a pint of Beck's. Can't beat that.
That's such a bleak thing to have to say out loud. More importantly, good music will be happening.
Very good music. We'll be joined by Fat Dog.
The band's Not the Animal.
As it's known after a few beers, Fat Dog.
Don't like that.
They're going to be joined by Butch Cassidy and Cowboy.
The musical artist, Not the Cowboy, and the band, Not the Cowboy.
Very yeehaw that we're going for this week, aren't we?
I'm into it.
Yeah. At the 100 Club, come down. Tickets only a tenner. Why not? It's this Friday, the 24th of March.
Yeah. I'll be there.
Yep. I'll be there.
Jamie will be there. That dog will be there.
Bands will be there. What
I'll be there.
What should people
Jamie
do?
Will be there.
What should they do if they see you, Jake? If people see you and want to come and approach you, how would you best approach that?
I think if you saw me, you should probably go into the bathroom and look in the mirror and think to yourself, am I glamorous enough to be approaching Jake Hawkes of the Dork Podcast? If yes, please do come over. If no, there's always next time.
Stay away. Stay away.
Yeah, but do stay away for today.
Or
That goes for you too, Jamie.
Oh. Well, okay. I better up my game then. Better get that glam on, as it will.
Yes.
But yeah, tickets are available, so come along. It's gonna be great. And
got another one.
We've got another one. Would you like another one, Jake?
Yes.
We've also got the wonderful Do Nothing are back. And they're
doing something.
They are doing. They're going to do April's Dork Night Out. So we're really following it up quick time here. Wednesday the 5th of April at Seabright Arms. Do Nothing. Back. Obviously, they dropped Happy Feet a few weeks back. We talked about it on the show.
That show as well. That's Thursday's the new Friday, as we all know.
Yeah.
But that weekend is Good Friday, which means that Thursday is Friday and Wednesday is therefore Thursday, which is the new Friday. So come down.
You're welcome, everyone. It's what Jesus would have wanted.
Can't prove otherwise.
Yeah, ask him. What are you going to do? I would say come down. It's sold out, so get on the waiting list.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Can I come?
Yes.
Seems a bit nepotistic. Fine.
Okay. Well, do you want to get back in the queue?
Well, I don't want to, but it would be fair.
All right, then. I'll see you outside the Seabright Arms.
Perfect.
Wonderful. More great Dork Live stuff. Come along. Have a lovely time. They're always really good fun. So,
no, one of them wasn't.
Which one?
Not telling you.
Oh.
Wasn't good, though.
Yeah. I think I know the one you mean. Music news, shall we? Music news. What's been going on in the world? All of that.
Whoa. It's not all about your live experiences, Jamie.
Batman.
There's a magazine, too.
There is.
Yes. You remember the magazine?
Yes.
Do you? Huh?
Do you remember the 21st night of the magazine September, as it's known?
New copy of Dork. New issue of Dork is out. Pick up a copy. Pick up an issue.
Yes. 3 amazing covers. You've got the one and only Sabrina Carpenter on the cover, pop superstar.
Got Black Honey.
Got Black Honey.
Friends of the magazine. Friends of the show.
Yeah.
Friends of Elvis Presley.
And Arlo Parks, who, again, superstar. Wonderful stuff.
To buy all 3.
Yeah, if you buy all 3, you'll never miss out on one of the covers. So, just get them all.
Plus, we have to raise money for life-saving tuberculosis treatment for Jamie. So, every penny counts.
As I've kind of been getting older, I've realised that I just...
Getting older? You're not even 30.
Falling apart. I realised that I just, I've got into the phase of, losing my voice at, shows now.
Right.
My voice, I didn't used to. My voice could power through, but it's kind of it's weakening slowly.
But yesterday you weren't at a show.
No, that's just talking. That's really strong for me, isn't it?
Talking is ruining your voice.
Yeah.
I look forward to doing an hour of talking with you.
Falling apart.
Music news.
Yes. Wonderful times for music news. Jake, are you a fan of Netflix?
A fan of Netflix?
Yeah. Is it a preferred streaming?
I'm a user, I guess, of Netflix.
How would you rate the streaming services? Netflix.
I actually,
Disney,
you try some of the other ones. You do realise that Netflix has got the actual interface down in a way that others have not.
Okay. Well,
doesn't need to buffer as much. Doesn't do weird loading things. Always very user friendly. So that's good.
Yeah. Well,
tell you what isn't good. Now TV, which fucking sucks.
I can't say I've ever really used Now TV, so you're gonna have to what's wrong with it?
I bought a month to watch all 3 Lord of the Rings films in a moment of weakness.
Oh, you're right.
They don't have the extended editions, and the interface is awful, and it just occasionally just reloads the page and starts again.
Great.
Yeah.
So
no good.
Now TV, boo.
And they've got Men in Black 1 and 2, but not the 3rd one. So I watched 1 and 2 as a refresher.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, haven't watched the 3rd one. Here we go. Don't have it.
So you just watched Men in Black 1 and 2.
There's 3 with Will Smith and what's his name? Tommy. Big Tom.
Yep. Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah.
And then they made another one, which is a reboot that everyone basically just said, it turns out the reason this was good was because of Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, and they're not in it anymore. So
yeah, the last one was with was it Chris Hemsworth? I feel was in it. Yes.
Yeah.
And I believe it's Tessa Thompson might have been in it as well.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't
Neither of
good.
which are Will Smith. Neither of which have ever slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars.
Yet.
That's true.
Yet. You never know.
That could be the magic sauce we're looking for.
So Now TV, terrible, especially for those Men in Black fans looking for the full franchise experience.
Exactly, yes.
But if you go on Netflix,
Uh-huh.
you'll find that there is a new documentary coming, Jake, from the one and only Lewis Capaldi. I was about to say there, former Dork cover star Lewis Capaldi, but they don't. Oh, he's kind of done a lot of stuff, hasn't he? Really? I feel like
that's the main one. I think.
Former
I think
Dork
that's
cover
what
star.
catapulted him into mainstream fame and success.
It's true. He was doing all right, and then that. All I'm saying is he got bigger afterwards.
Exactly.
So,
quick one on this.
Yeah.
So this documentary is called "How I'm Feeling Now."
Yes.
Right. So that's a very, very successful Charlie XCX album. So what's going on there?
Was it How I'm Feeling? It was, yeah. I mean, I don't know. But well, actually, maybe have
I don't actually know enough about Lewis Capaldi to know what the basis for him calling it that is, but it's a strange one.
Well, he's got a song called that.
Is it a big song?
It's only just come out. We're going to play it in a sec.
So it's not a big song
yet.
But once we've played it, it will be.
Again, we set the agenda, Jake. So maybe that's the way that we do it. But yeah, he's got a new documentary coming. It's basically following Lewis Capaldi obviously through that rise and kind of going into this second album, and I guess the pressure kind of obviously having to follow up such a huge moment. Apparently incredibly personal. Like if you watch the trailer, you kind of see that it's kind of really like warts and all behind the scenes, kind of really following this guy kind of just coming to terms with everything that's kind of suddenly happened to him.
I just don't think I'm that interested.
Great. I just don't think I'm that interested.
Like, I watched the Elvis film recently.
The one with Austin Butler in,
of course. Yes.
And Tom Hanks doing
the worst accent of all time. But that's like clocking in at like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something.
It's a long film, yeah.
Elvis had an incredibly interesting life.
Yeah.
And some really good songs.
Yeah.
And they condensed his entire 40 whatever year life into 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yes.
And that only just held my attention. So no slight to Lewis Capaldi, but I just don't think it's going to be interesting enough for me.
Okay. Well,
when he gets to like 50 or 60, if they condense that down into like 2 hours and there's some controversy in there, I'll watch it. But until then,
so you want like... Yeah, your document, like your music kind of watching experiences, you need to have a fuller career to look at. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I need some highs, some lows, some middles,
Well,
feels like with Lewis, it's mainly highs and then the occasional wobble. Personally,
I think you'll find there's highs and lows in this document. Apparently, it kind of follows everything that he's...
Yeah, but he doesn't get like addicted to prescription painkillers and lose his wife, does he?
I mean, haven't seen it yet, so just saying. It'll be a
That's
surprise.
why the Johnny Cash one is good, because his story actually kind of mirrors how you would plot a film.
Yes.
Like, good first act, second act where it all goes wrong, renaissance in the third act, dies happy surrounded by his family.
So,
that's literally how you would write a film if you were writing a fictional film.
That is true, actually, yeah. So, at one point, you want that full film, but it needs to have that happy ending of death.
Yeah, I want Lewis Capaldi to have a good, long career, but I also want at least 5 years of it to feel like it could all go wrong for the sake of a music film.
Tremendous. Well, this documentary apparently is incredible. So maybe you'll have a watch. It looks great. The trailer looks brilliant. That's all I'm saying. It's really, really good. Go watch it. Go watch the trailer.
You said apparently it's incredible, and it turns out you're just basing that on the fact that you liked the trailer.
Yeah, that's it. I like the trailer. It's all right, It captures, his defining year, struggle to balance the familiarity of home.
Now you're just reading this. You're just reading this off of something. This isn't even your opinion anymore.
Gleaning an intimate portrait of his unique
You've never
character.
used the word gleaning in your life.
I haven't, no. Gleaning. Is it gleaning or gleaning?
Gleaning.
Yeah, it says gleaning here.
That's correct, yes.
Oh, right. I don't think I've ever seen that word before. Like gleaming, I have, but I'm just looking at it. I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen that word written
It's
down.
it comes from like when farmers do a big harvest,
Mm,
right? There's a load of stuff
right.
left behind, like that wasn't worth picking up or didn't get picked up. And gleaning is like when you go out in the field and like pick all the old little cabbages that weren't collected in the harvest.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah,
Okay. That's something for everyone to learn. That's
exactly.
good.
Enjoy yourselves, guys.
Enjoy
This
yourselves.
is presumably Lewis Capaldi covering the entirety of the Charlie XCX album, How I'm Feeling Now.
So here's to my beautiful life that seems to leave me so unsatisfied. No sense of self, but self-obsessed. I'm always trapped inside my fucking head. On and on and on, on and on and on, on and on and on, on and on and on. Say, but I'd be happier somehow.
Wonderful stuff. Looking forward to it. It's out April the 5th. So,
So just before Easter.
yeah, and also you could watch it maybe during the day and then go to Dorks Night Out with Do Nothing.
Or watch it at the Do Nothing show between bands.
Yeah, maybe we'll put it on upstairs at the Seabright Arms.
Yeah.
Just fuck it, put it on loop.
Yeah, lovely.
Get up those streaming links. Joyous. More music news, Jake?
Yeah.
Before I die. This is Robert Smith from Newcomers The Cure.
Oh, yeah. Up and comers. Rising band. Rising star.
Rising Star, all of that. I don't know if you saw that basically. So The Cure announced a US tour a few days ago. And basically, ticket prices and like booking fees in particular, bit mad. All a bit much, basically. So what he's done is he's gone, I'm not having this. And usually when an artist does that, it's like, oh, they'll go and have a chat with their team and maybe it'll change for the future. But, nothing really, major is going to happen except they'll just kick off and they'll raise awareness and be like, oh, don't do that again, Ticketmaster. Robert Smith has managed to get people some of their money back.
Yeah, I enjoy this, which kind of assume like it makes it look like Ticketmaster are basically admitting they've just been ripping people off for years.
Yeah, because they then don't.
Because they haven't even gone up and like, look, this is why the fees are that. They've been like, oh yeah, fair play. Yeah, we are just like taking money for fun. Here you go.
We are taking the piss, basically. Yeah, so they said that the fees being charged are very high. So as a gesture of goodwill, $10 per ticket. Yeah, as a gesture of goodwill.
When you get mugged, but as a gesture of goodwill, he gives you back your Oyster card so you can get the bus home.
Yeah, takes all your stuff, then comes back and goes like, look, as a gesture of goodwill, I'm prepared to give this back. And you're like, wait, hold on, what? Like, you took this.
This is all mine. I bought a ticket for the Hammersmith Apollo semi recently, and the ticket options were delivery, which was £4, or e-ticket, which costs £2.50 delivery fee. So had to pay £2.50 to receive an email.
Oh, that's grim.
Yeah,
that's truly.
Also, I think the thing is, like, obviously fees for venues and that, like, venues need to earn money, whatever. But like, if they're charging like 20 quid a ticket, and then the venue wants to charge you an extra like £5 on top, like, just charge 25 quid for the ticket.
Yeah.
The worst part about it is when you pay 20 and then you get to the next thing, it's like, oh, and also an extra like £4 for this and £1 for this. And you're just like, oh, just fucking tell me how much the ticket actually costs.
Yeah, because you go into it thinking of one figure there. It's like this. You got like admin fee, like, an admin fee.
But again, none of it means anything. Like, what admin? This is automated. I'm not speaking to a human being.
Exactly.
Just put like, fit money for us. £5.
Yeah. Our holiday fund.
Yeah,
just put that down.
Yeah.
But yes, kicked off and brought those prices down, and now obviously from here on. So basically, it was stuff that the issue was that when like the fan sale went on sale, some fans were reporting that Ticketmaster fees, so like service fee, facility charge, and order processing exceeded the price of the actual ticket.
Yeah. Thing is, as well, like, this is weird because it's like the same company, but in America, and I think it does show that like a lot of the regulations we have in place in this country, like, people who are like, oh, we need like less red tape, and it's like, yeah. And then you look at America, and as soon as a corporation is given free reign to do what it wants, it just rips everyone off.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
in America, Ticketmaster like surge pricing that you pay like $2,000 for a ticket.
Yeah.
And over here, you got people like, you know what we need? We need less red tape. All this bloody stuff, all these regulations getting in the way of me being charged £2,000 to see The Cure.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, we wish it could be like this.
If only.
If only. Oh, the dream.
It's so inefficient.
So yeah, wonderful stuff. Well done to Robert Smith.
I guess to be a Cure fan and get that refund, it must feel just like heaven.
By The Cure. Well done, The Cure. From one icon to another. We've got some more news for you. Jake, what's been happening at the Hammersmith Apollo recently?
Well, aside from that print at home ticket fee,
of course.
You're talking about the Morrissey gig on Sunday night, right?
Oh yeah, that's definitely what I was talking about. Yeah.
You wanted to talk about big daft racist Morrissey.
Yes, I don't know if you know, but in 2005 he was voted the second greatest.
I believe it was 2006, actually.
Sorry. Let me get it right. In 2006 he was voted the second greatest living Briton. He beat
a status which I assume he would not have slipped down hundreds of places.
Oh no, nothing would have changed that, right? I mean, that poll that's history. Can't change that.
That is. Mr. Blobby
icon
made a special guest appearance at the Self-Esteem.
Yes,
the Mr. Blobby Renaissance is really picking up speed, isn't it? Since that original costume went up for sale, people have been appreciating the Blobster more than ever before.
Do you think, I know you obviously made the claim end of last year, start of this year, that 2023 is going to be the year of REM.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it could be the year of Mr. Blobby?
Well, I think that's kind of separate to, but equal to, you know.
Equal.
Not a musical year, but definitely something in the air. Blobby blob in the air.
Yeah.
Blob. A little bit worried that the year of REM has been usurped by U2.
Yes, the comeback of U2.
So a bit annoying, but maybe we will have to wait another year for the year of REM.
You never know, Jake. You know, there's a lot of months left to go.
We'll see, but I'm just a bit worried that we've only got room for one legacy band with a front man with one weird thing. You know,
with one weird.
Well, Michael Stipe's like too bald, and Bono wears the weird glasses.
Too bald. What makes him too bald compared to
like Michael Stipe? Like you can't picture him with hair.
Yes, that's true.
What I think. Like Michael Stipe's like literally, I can't fathom a way in which he could have hair and it not look weird.
Yeah, without it looking like you've like kind of doodled his hair on
exactly.
On like a photo, you know, look at that.
Mr. Blobby, can't imagine him with hair either.
No,
him.
It's
Mr. Blobby, but like
Mr.
Weird,
it's Mr. Blobby. So that would be where you'd go with that.
Doesn't look like it would have a gender, a sex.
No, I mean you. For some reason now I'm like kind of thinking of like Mr. Blobby fucking and.
Do you think that there's anyone on the planet that thinks Mr. Blobby's sexy?
Oh, there definitely is.
There is, isn't there?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Maybe self-esteem. Maybe. I'm just saying maybe.
Maybe. What's Mr. Blobby been up to though? What's he doing?
Well, he's not real, so nothing.
But why? So what happened?
Was that a Fatboy Slim song?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Sorry, I'm trying not to die.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to play You Forever by Self-Esteem. then Jamie, sounding much healthier, is going to be doing a chat with the wonderful swim school.
Yes.
And then we'll be back, and Jamie will once again sound like he's dying.
Yeah, so you can watch our rise and fall, basically, all in one go. But basically, also, I want to say, shout out Mr. Blobby.
Shout out Mr. Blobby.
The icon. If you want to come on the show, give us a shout.
That would be horrible.
Also, yeah, it'd go nowhere, wouldn't it? You know,
I just think like Mr. Blobby sounds weirdly satanic.
Like a what? Sex addict?
Satanic.
Fuck. I'm like, what? What? I don't know.
This is You Forever by Self Esteem.
And we're back on Down With Boring, another sterling episode, another bunch of really incredible chat, of course, that you would have heard throughout. But don't worry, it's getting much better now, thank God, because we're joined by Alice from Swim School. Alice, how are we doing? How is things? How is life? How are we?
Life is good, thank you very much. We are currently in our rehearsal room rehearsing for our next gig, which is supporting the Pixies in Birmingham tomorrow.
An incredible line just there. Like that's the way to open it. We're just in our rehearsal room because we're playing with the Pixies tomorrow. I suppose it's all right. I suppose that's going to
It's definitely a pinch me moment. I think for all of us, especially our manager Paul. He's like one of the biggest fans of the Pixies, and I think he's actually seen them live before too. But this is our first time seeing them live, and we take a lot of influence from their music, so the fact we're supporting them is absolutely mental. But we're trying to keep really calm and cool and collected. But I think we're going to struggle when we get to the venue tomorrow.
yeah, I love it. Just trying to keep some sort of level of composure. Where you're like, no, it's fine. Just another gig. Just another gig. It's just going to be a normal one, isn't it? Right? You know, just going to roll along. It's going to be absolutely fine. A real, calm start to the year then. In terms of everything going on. In terms of kind of like shows and everything, like how has it kind of been so far for you?
This year has been mental. We've done we did an independent venue week tour where we had like hundreds of people come and see us play in places we'd never been to before. So that for us was a bit mind blowing. Like we played like Southampton and we played Worthing, and we'd never ever set foot in these places, but like venues were selling out, and it was just like, what the hell is going on? And then we got a lot of support with radio play. Jack Saunders has really helped us out, Clara Amphel, Gemma Bradley and whatnot, and Steve Lamack, and it's mental to get this much support from everyone. So it's been a very like chaotic but amazing start to the year.
Yes, busy, but in a very good way. Better to be that than the other way around, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You've seen that. So was that your first time that you're going to like you say, like the first time you've ever been to like Worthing, for example? And you're just like straight into like a show with loads of people wanting to come and see you.
And we had like a queue outside Worthing, and we were just like, this is so strange, because we honestly thought we were going to be playing to nobody. We thought, there's a lot of venues on here in places we've never been to, so people probably don't know who we are. And we thought we'd be playing to the support bands and the sound engineers, but it really wasn't the case. But there's something so nice about that, because it shows how far your music can kind of travel in a way, and kind of proves that like people still care about new bands and bands you might not have seen. Like we had a few people just come up to the doors some night just to see what's going on, and they ended up walking away as a fan, and that's always a really cool thing to know.
Yeah, that's amazing. No, it must be quite good as well, kind of like, if you kind of like someone who's like do a load of festivals and tour quite a lot, and then kind of getting to the point of like like say playing these sort of shows, and kind of like I guess seeing that reaction is quite I don't know, like quite I guess like rewarding in a lot of ways, and quite I guess I don't know, kind of like lifts you a bit, because you're like, oh wow, didn't realize that this was happening, I guess.
It makes all the hard work worth it. Like that's one thing our manager has said to us this year. It seems like we've worked at this for like 4 years now, and we've been through a lot of ups and downs. And he said himself, he's like, it finally it's finally showing, and you can feel that all the hard work we've put in over lockdown and over the last couple of years is really starting to pay off now. And we've kind of broken that. We've gone past that really, really hard point, and we're kind of getting the rewards of that now. I mean, it's still going to be hard. Like, it's still like this music industry. It's never ever easy. But I feel like we're definitely like on the right track, and all the hard work we've done is starting to pay off now.
Nice. Yeah, it must be great. And it must be great, I guess, kind of looking back to like last year as well, where it feels like you guys were kind of like you say, playing as many festivals as possible, kind of like getting out there. Like, did that kind of feel like quite a, I don't say quite like a turning point year, but like, how did that kind of like feel, kind of like getting out and doing a lot of those shows?
It's mad, like to get booked in places we'd never been to. Like, I'd never been down to Newquay where like Boardmasters was, and honestly, we turned up, and obviously it's middle of summer, and we're very Scottish, so we were absolutely roasting the whole festival season. We were absolutely sweating, like it was mental. And we turned up in down in Newquay, and honestly, it was like we felt like we were in Australia. Everyone was cutting about with like no tops on and like bikinis and that, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And then we turn up in our leather and our black and our Doc Martens, and everyone's like, what the hell?
Who are these guys?
Yeah, where do these guys come from, honestly? But it's just nice to be getting, like, we love Scotland, we love being a Scottish band, but one thing we've always said is that we don't want to just conquer Scotland. We want to be able to like sell thousands of tickets down south as well. It's just in Scotland, and it's like about that balance of being a UK band rather than just a Scottish band. But and when you get booked for festivals like Boardmasters and Truck Festival, you finally feel like you're not just a Scottish band, you're more than that.
Yeah, that's it as well. Because I guess it could be quite easy just to be like, do you know what? We kind of like know this. We kind of like know this area, know this scene. We can stay here. We can kind of do really well here and kind of go from there. But was it very much just like, let's just get out to as many places as possible and kind of like, I guess, push yourselves as well a bit.
Yeah, because we love playing live. I mean, alongside everything else about being in a band, that is one of our favorite things. I think as well, our music live is a lot heavier and a lot bigger than it is on record. We love that. People do come to our shows and they're like, my God, we didn't think you'd be so heavy, but they love that. And we love that because we get the mosh pits and whatnot, and we get proper into it. So being able to play live is just basically showcasing what we can do. Because I mean, I know that people are like, if you discover a band, it's usually through Spotify, and then you listen to them and you see them live. But we just really wanted to get out, play like nearly every festival, just to get like a bit of exposure. And now it's like, now we're seeing ourselves being bigger on the like further up the poster, basically. And that's good because like we worked so hard, spent a lot of money as well on traveling and whatnot. And honestly, I think after Boardmasters, we traveled through the night and we got back home at like, it was stupid o'clock. But you do it because you love it, and you know it's one day going to pay off. And also, just festivals are so much fun. They're so much fun.
Yeah, I was about to say the journey, trying to work out that journey from Newquay back up. Yeah, might be quite. A long one. You must have become accustomed now to the motorway services.
We have it's really sad, but we have like a ranking of all our favorite motorway service stations.
So you've got to give us whatever the top 3 is. Like
there's this. Oh, I'm so bad, right? I'm not gonna lie. Before I was in a band, I never left Scotland. Like, I'd been to London like twice, and then we'll be driving down. Yeah, now it's like I know the roads, but now and we're like driving down. I'm like, is that Manchester? And they're like, no, that's like. Honestly, I am so bad direction. But there's this really cool service station. I think it's like really down south. It's just past Manchester. It's proper like Texas vibes. I don't know what it's called. We saw H pulled up in his tour bus. Billy was outside to have a cigarette, and he saw H like pull up in his tour bus, and it was just like, it's mental. But I think the motorway service stations are like the amount of people you see there. Like, we bumped into Coach Party and Crawlers a few times, and it's really nice seeing other bands. Yeah, exactly. Especially during festival season as well.
Amazing. So, just if anyone wants to bump into a band, just knock about some service stations.
Exactly.
And I'm sure you'll find them, basically. Was it kind of like with like touring as well? Was it something that kind of has become quite, I guess, I don't know, are you now like in the rhythm of it a little bit more? Like, was it quite like intense, like kind of obviously like you say, from kind of like not really going, like leaving Scotland suddenly into be like traveling and going around? Like, was that something that came quite naturally, just to be like, right, this is touring life now? Like, was that something that came naturally?
Yeah, I suppose. I think the excitement of it, and going to new places. Like I really love Manchester now and Brighton. They're like my two favorite places. And again, I've never been there before the band. So it's quite different, especially for me, because this is my first band I've ever been in, and the boys have been in multiple bands, so they've been there, done that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But for me, it's quite new and quite different. But honestly, I absolutely love it. I love just like getting in the van. Like I've been living out this like red suitcase for the last couple of like months, and it's honestly,
not been unpacked.
No, it's actually not. It's like I feel like I come home and then I unpack, do my washing, and then I pack it, and then I'm off again. Like even for the Pixie shows, we're all packed up and stuff. But it's just so fun, and although the drives are long and they can be quite like a drag, but it's so much fun. Like I love just like sitting with the boys and having a chat, and like we always put on the tunes, and we have like a joint Spotify playlist that we play our tunes on. So
Nice.
It is really fun. Like I actually don't mind. Well, I don't drive personally. Like I can't drive. Lewis drives, but I feel like I really love that part of touring, and it just means that every like other part of it is a bonus as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you enjoy the traveling part, then you're going to really love the rest of it, to be fair.
Massively,
yeah, the rest of it is going to be grand. And it must be nice, I guess, like looking ahead to this year. Obviously, you've got supporting Pixies, of course, but also you've got stuff lined up with like Lovejoy and Soft Cult. Like, I guess, is it very much, I guess, the start of this year? Obviously, time with the new EP as well. Is it very much just kind of like giving these new songs, I don't know, I guess the chance to like reach new audiences? Really, does it also feel like kind of like a new chapter for kind of like you guys as a band?
Massively, yeah. Like, cause we recently like went down to a 3-piece as well, and then we also worked on the EP with Ian Berryman, who honestly, I'm not just saying this, is generally one of the nicest guys I've ever met, and his vision like matched our vision with the EP and the songs, and we recorded the EP in London, and that was a whole different experience. Like to know that you're down in London recording music, it's like, what the hell's going on? We kind of all pinched ourselves. We recorded it in Narcissus Studios, and you have like all these like #1 like awards like just dotted about for like Inhaler and like, and then Young Fathers were in before us and stuff, and it's just like, what are we doing here? But I think as time goes on, we definitely feel a lot more like, okay, yeah, we deserve to be here. And for the new songs, Kill You and Delirious, I think you can definitely hear how much we've matured, especially with working with Ian as well. And honestly, like I absolutely loved recording those tunes with Ian. Like for Delirious, for example, we recorded the vocals in the studio. He turned all the lights to red and then like handed me like a microphone, and he was like, "You're not going to stand and sing this. You're going to pace around the room, get yourself riled up, get angry, and just sing it." And honestly, it was probably the funnest like vocal take I'd ever done. Like I was like, me and him were like sweating by the end of it. It was absolutely mental, and I was just like, this is crazy. And you can hear that, and it comes across in the song. So yeah, the whole experience recording the EP was crazy, and then all the like the big support slots we got coming up as well. It's like kind of like we've got a new kind of sound, and we're wanting to show that to new fans, and that's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, where do you think that kind of, I guess, new sound kind of came from? Do you think it came from just, like you say, playing live so much and then kind of like feeding into it, or was it something that just kind of, like you say, kind of like just grows naturally as a band? I guess.
I think a bit of both, really. I think lockdown, we got Billy in to play drums, and he's generally like the missing piece of Swim. He's quite a loud drummer, and he won't mind me saying that because he really is loud. So that kind of meant that me and Lewis had to crank our amps a bit up, and the distortion came through and a bit of gain. So it kind of, we almost like, because we got Billy in, we became a bit heavier, but then we realized how much we enjoyed it. And then just writing in lockdown and listening to loads of music, and we really got into like 90s like shoegaze bands like Slow Dive, My Bloody Valentine, like really got into like Pixies and Smashing Pumpkins as well. And I really think you can hear that in our new tunes. We always say like our fan base is very diverse. Like at our gigs, especially our hometown gigs, we'll have like the young ones at the front like moshing and whatnot, and then you'll have the slightly older fans at the back with their like old band tees on and their arms crossed, like absolutely loving it. And I think that's why especially next show's coming up, like Pixies have an older fan base, and I think that's why we'll go down so well with them. But then we're also supporting Lovejoy, who have quite a young fan base. So it kind of like, we've been very tactical with who we're supporting and whatnot. But no, it's just, we love playing music. Like, you can get into all the details of it, but at the end of the day, like, we love our music, and we like kind of shifting our tone and our genre and whatnot, and it keeps it interesting for the listeners as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, we've done the other stuff already. You can go and listen to it. You don't need to hear that again. We've got other things going on.
Yeah.
And is that, I guess that's kind of like an idea of kind of what, I guess, Duality as an EP kind of, it's going to sound like, really. It's kind of like those kind of like, I guess, range of different like sides kind of like coming together, really. Is that kind of like the thinking there?
Yeah, I saw a quote. Like, we didn't really know what to call the EP. And then I saw a quote that was like, duality is the like existence of two contrasting feelings at the same time, and I was like, that describes the EP perfectly, because like the songs are very much like, I don't know, like negative and positive, and that kind of, it shows it. And I always described the EP as being like duality, like just in passing, and then when I actually googled it and then saw the quote, and I was like, this describes it perfectly. So that's why we kind of called it that. But no, it's just, it's always exciting bringing out new music, but also terrifying as well, because you're like, what if people don't like it? But like, what we try and remind ourselves is, as long as we like it and we're staying true to ourselves, then we can't really go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And because otherwise you end up trying to like please other people, then suddenly you're like, oh no, we're making songs we don't even like.
And that's absolutely impossible to please everyone as well. So.
Exactly. Yeah, an understandable one. And I guess like for you guys as a band, and like ambition wise, like, is that feeling really much of being like, we just want to kind of like play those bigger stages, get out there? Like, do you kind of like have an idea of almost where you're going as a band, and kind of like where you're going to go next? I guess sound wise as well.
Yeah, the thing with us is that, especially sound wise, we never know what we're going to come up with. Like, we'll go into a writing session and we could be like, oh, we want this kind of song, but we'll always come out with the opposite. It's just like it's so unpredictable for ourselves, and we're the ones writing it. So that sounds really stupid, but it's quite nice in a way, because it means we never get bored of writing, because it's always something different that's coming out. And then in terms of like the future for Swim, like we still work like jobs, like normal jobs to fund the banks. We're not like signed to a major yet, but obviously like every band's dream is to sign to a major and like do sold out tours and tour America and Europe and whatnot, and our tour bus. And like, of course, we'd love all that, and we are hoping that it's going to come, and we're manifesting it's going to come one day. But at the same time, like, all we want to do is just be able to do music full time. That's like the most like short and like blunt answer, but that's all we want, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. Screw the jobs. Just have this as the job. This as the job.
It's like we're all living like Hannah Montana lives, where it's like, honestly, it's like, I think we all worked the day after the King Tut's gig that we just done like last year. Or was it last year? Last year we sold out King Tut's, that she played to like 250 people. And then the next day, like, I was like sat scanning tickets on the door, and I'm just like what is going on? Yeah, like obviously, like having a job is very humbling as well. So it's quite good. But yeah, you do feel like Hannah Montana sometimes.
Yeah. They're like, I did that yesterday. Yeah. Just letting everyone know. They're like, yeah, okay, sure. Have you finished the next task yet, or what are you doing?
Like, hurry up.
Yeah. Like, okay, thanks everyone. Yeah, really appreciate it. Well, let's have a listen. Let's have a listen to one of the new tracks. This is Delirious by Swim School. And there it is. We definitely sat and listened to that. That's how the show. We gave up quite a while ago trying to hide our production here, Alice. We were like, oh yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah, no, we you know full well by this point. People have got stuff to do. People have got stuff to do. Got jobs. We've got service stations to go to. Fields to be sweaty in. That's the kind of standard thing. Yeah, if you do go to America and do the tour, watch out for Central America. If you thought that Newquay was hot,
yeah, I'm scared.
Might be in for a shock there. Maybe.
Do you know one tip that we kind of took on board is that always bring baby wipes with you. Because see, after like being in a van and it's so hot, and you get out and you just want to like, it's like the shower, like a festival shower where you just like you have a baby wipe, and that is basically you. But that's one tip we want to give to other bands, is that it really does make a difference bringing baby wipes with you.
You'll feel refreshed. You heard it here.
Yes.
Like, just to invest in them, you'll be very thankful.
Yeah, you'll be thankful.
Amazing. A wonderful tip. But obviously, we now come to a very educational part of the show as well, which is we play a game here at Down and Boring. And this week, usually we kind of like play off like one of the songs of our guest who's on. But we realised that Kill You might be a bit intense as a game. So instead we've gone with Back to Swim School. Really catchy. Yeah. So what we're gonna do? So obviously, life is about learning. So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna name like 2 different like skills or stuff that you can learn, and kind of want to know which one you'd rather be able to do. So which kind of like just working out. What's kind of like new skills do you want to pick up if you're given these 2 choices? So let's start off with this one. Either be able to speak every language in the world, or be able to create your own language that everyone understands.
I think speak languages, like all the languages, because I sometimes feel like when I'm talking on stage with my Scottish accent, people can't understand me anyway. So I think my own language is just not go down very well. So I think speak every language. That would be very impressive as well. And I'd love to speak French, but I just don't think my brain is big enough to handle another vocabulary.
handle the vocabulary.
Yeah.
I love the idea where you're just like, look, if I create my own language, it's just going to be hard for everyone. That's basically what you've laid out there. Just like
I got told at a gig once that I just like a guy, like he was a bit of an arsehole, but he came up to me and he was just like, he's like, see, when you're on stage, just don't speak because no one can understand you, and let the boys speak. And I just looked at him.
Wow.
And I went, okay. Cheers. I went, are you going to buy anything? He went, no. I was like, okay, bye. And just, like, he went away. But yeah.
Jesus
so yeah,
Christ.
That's why I've definitely not done my own language.
Well, I love the fact you're just like, you're going to buy something. No? Okay, well then get out of here. Get out.
It's like, don't waste my time. Come on.
Don't waste my time then. Yeah. You understood that well enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ. Learning all the languages though, very, very wise, very wise. You can use it any way you want. Here's one for you. Be able to kind of like basically learn like the directions to everywhere at any given moment. So basically you become Google Maps, realistically. Or you learn how to teleport.
Teleport. 100%.
Straight in.
Like, I'm so bad at giving directions, like so bad. So I think teleport, that'd be cool. Like, I don't know where I'd go. I'd go probably somewhere hot until it gets too hot and then come back to Scotland. But
again, back to somewhere hot. We've talked about this, the leather jackets, the everything. Like, you're like,
but then also I think it'd be great after like a show or a festival to be able to teleport back home instead of being in the van for like 6 hours. That'd be quite nice.
To be fair, that is very practical. Yeah, to be honest with you. Are you one of those people where if someone comes up and asks you on the street, like, "Oh, do you know where this is?" You're like, no idea.
Is it bad that I lie and say yeah, and then they just go a direction that's not the way? Someone did that to me in Manchester. Do you know where like this is? And I was like, I felt too bad being like, oh, I'm not from here, and I didn't want to embarrass them. So I just went, oh, it's just down there, and then I just kind of ran away from them. But I feel really bad away from them.
Amazing. If you're that person who's still looking for whoever.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Down there.
I just didn't want to embarrass them by being like, oh, like, sorry, like, I'm not from here. Like, you know, when you go into a shop and like someone asks you where something is and you don't work there.
Oh,
like,
yes,
that's embarrassing. And I didn't want them to feel embarrassed. I just said, yeah, down there, and then like kind of walked the opposite direction kind of thing. But yeah.
You kind of took the like, I really appreciate that you think I'm from here.
Yeah.
That was it. You want to get back and forth on it.
Yeah, I was like, there's no danger of doing that.
It's very fair. Then that's probably why teleport is probably the best bet, because the directions have gone so well in the
To be fair, I
past.
do that in Edinburgh sometimes. Is that quite bad? Like, they'll be like, oh, do you know where that street is? And I'm
You're
like, I
right.
should. I know. But I'm a people pleaser, so I can't say no.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, of course I do. Yeah, no
Yeah, of
worries.
course I'll help you out.
Let me help you out. Go down that way. Oh no, wrong way.
Yeah.
Just run away. Brilliant. Right, there you go, everyone. Don't ask for directions.
Don't ask me for directions.
Don't ask for directions, Alice. Yeah. Okay, here's the next one. How to ride a bike or how to fly a plane. I don't know if you know either. I'll be stunned if you know how to fly a plane. That'd be quite the fact out of nowhere. That'd be amazing. But
I wish I was that cool. But
just cracked out.
I know how to ride a bike already, so I'll go with the plane, and then that would mean we could like have our own private jet. But I'm the captain, or not captain, pilot. That's just so much I don't know. I'm thinking of boats.
Yeah, you go on like, yeah, we'll just drop the anchor here.
Yeah.
And like, what are you talking about? Like,
honestly, do you know what's really sad is I'm obsessed with Below Deck, so I know like so much about boats from it. Like me and my boyfriend are genuinely like obsessed, and I met one of them, like one of the chief stews in Edinburgh. She was there, and I literally never fangirled more. I've met Matty Healy, and I've never fangirled more over someone on Below Deck than I did Matty Healy. It was honestly embarrassing.
What's the situation?
So cool, calm and collect.
Was it like was the person from Below Deck just like around and you just spotted out of nowhere, or was it like
They're quite like anyone who's Below Deck fans listening, like hi, and like I get you, but it's like it was Hannah. I don't know if anyone knows Hannah. She's the chief stew, and she I think she actually got fired from it for having a weed pen, but that's a spoiler, so sorry everyone.
Sorry, yeah, spoiler alert.
I was working at like a market during like summer last year, and then she just kind of like came to my stall, and I was like, you're Hannah from Below Deck. And she's I think she's Australian. I think, yeah.
Yes, Australian. Yes, Australian.
And then I was like, what are you doing here? She's like, oh, my husband's Scottish. And like she did have and it was actually her, and I was too nervous to ask for a picture.
Oh,
and then Rory was there, and I was like, Rory, look who it is. And he was like, oh my God, it's Hannah from Below Deck. And I was like, I can't believe it. And then, like, so that was that. And then I met Matty Healy at Latitude Festival, and I was so chill and so calm and so cool about it. And I was like,
yeah, you're right, mate. Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
like, how does that make any sense?
But,
but no, literally, I know a lot about boats from that show. It's quite sad, but that's my guilty pleasure.
That's the guilty pleasure. And if anyone from Below Deck is, of course, listening in any form, come to a show.
Hi.
Hi. I love it. And then obviously below. So then Hannah kind of like just walked away, and that was it. That was the end of it.
And then I told everyone, and no one knew who I was talking about because they were like, "What's Below Deck?" And I was like, "I can't believe this."
It is a sensational show.
There was one girl at my work who watches it, and I was like, "You'll never guess." And she fangirled as much as I did, but it was like no one had a clue. I told my mum, and she was like, "Who's that?" I was like, "Oh my God, so you guys are so uneducated."
Oh, God. Amazing. Well, big fans. Yeah, get the poster in. Everything.
Absolutely. I wish I got a photo, but I was just too nervous.
Too nervous. You were starstruck, if anything,
literally.
by the sheer weight of Hannah arriving on the scene.
Literally.
Incredible. And that's why you would fly a plane.
Yes, for some reason.
Yeah, that's why. The connection. A strong one there. We'll do a couple more for you. How about being able to juggle or being able to ride a unicycle?
Both are quite boring, no? Sorry, no offense to anyone who can do both.
If they're both levels of boring, that kind of like what would tip one over the other?
Probably juggle, because it means I can like, if I have like an arsehole sound engineer, I can like chuck the balls at him. Like that's the only way I see it. Violence. That's me. That's it.
That's it. The practicality of, well, if I'm juggling, I can throw
during
more
sound
things.
check.
Yeah. If you're on stage whilst playing guitar, we'll just juggle it around. And
exactly.
For no other reason, not like kids' birthday parties or anything like that. No. Nah, just for
no offense, everyone.
No offense, but violence.
Violence is the answer. Especially being a woman in this industry.
Very, very fair, very true.
Sums it up.
Yeah, that's where we had to go with the juggling. Exactly. I've got one more for you. Learn how to speak to animals or Learn how to translate everybody when they're incredibly
Animals.
drunk. Strong. Not even.
I love that. I love dogs. Like dogs in my life. Genuinely, I think I like dogs gravitate to us. When we were down in London last week. We were in like this like little cafe, and I walk in and there's this like dash hound puppy, and I was saying to the boys, I want to pet that dog, and then I'm not joking, the dog literally just wandered over to me. I've got photos of it on my phone. I've got my whole camera roll is dogs I've met in public.
No one else. No family.
No, literally no gig photos. It's literally just dogs. I remember service stations, that's like heaven to me because there's always dogs outside and I can just go and pet one and just like say hi to it. The owners are probably like, "What? Who is this person?" But I'm like, I don't care as long as I get my dog fix.
Also emerging out of the back of like a van, just like just like they're like, "Hi, dog."
I'm like, hi.
It's like sensational.
There's some bands I know, like sports team have done it. They like, I think they ask if any like workers at the venue have a dog that they want to bring in, they can bring it in. Like that is going to be on my like rider.
That's the rider. That's the rider request.
Just dogs, no beer, just dogs.
Yeah. Sorry, we can't give you the food and snacks, but have you met this Labrador over here? You're like,
that'd be my dream.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Sorted. So you would obviously want to communicate with the animals. You want to that'd be the level. What if they're like what if you found out, like, actually, when they were actually, like, communicating and talking, they're actually not that, they're quite boring? How do you feel about that?
I'm quite good at ignoring people that aren't nice, so I'd probably just ignore it and just keep petting them anyway.
Perfect.
I'm trying to relate being a musician in this industry and, like, in these questions. I'm like, I don't really know. I think if they were mean, I'd just ignore them and just be like, well, you're getting petted anyway. That sounds really weird, but
you're carrying it through.
Animals.
Yeah. Just want to flag.
Yeah, just want to.
We're carrying it through. Exactly.
Yeah.
Holding it to it. Well, a very strong choice. So yeah, if you come into a show, bring animals, bring dogs.
Yeah,
be appreciated. Unfortunately, it brings an end to our time with that huge revelation. And the huge demand for riders. Duality, new EP, is out 2nd of June. There we go. And go catch Swim School on tour. It'll be a lovely time. It'll be guaranteed. Alice, a pleasure. Thank you for coming on. Enjoy Pixies and enjoy all of those other dates. This is Kill You by Swim School. And there was Swim School. Alice, wonderful times. Lovely time, lovely chat. Obviously, they went off to support the Pixies.
I think it's just Pixies.
The Pixies, yeah. It's like the Foals, isn't it?
Yeah, the Paramore.
The Paramore.
The self-esteem.
The Arctic Monkey.
Well, that's a bit of a different one.
Yeah, so amazing to have Alice on. Obviously, go into the tunes. Looking forward to the EP coming out in June. And go see them on tour. They're playing with Lovejoy soon, so that'll be chaotic gigs.
That'll probably be exactly the same as touring with Francis Black.
Yeah. Similar vibe, right?
Yeah. Another man that I actually can't really imagine with hair.
True. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like Ross
Did he
Kemp.
used to have hair?
Well, he must have at some point. Hold on. Francis Black. Hope everyone's enjoying the audio version.
Yeah. Yeah. Seems to have always been balding.
Yeah, I'm just seeing bald a lot.
But also, he's managed to stay balding for many years, which is impressive. Once it starts, it normally picks up speed.
Yeah. And instead he... like receding hairline. But that's kind of it.
Thank you all for listening to that.
Yeah. Cheers, everyone. Go have a look now if you want as well. Like, you can do that on multitasking on the phone.
Yeah, look at home.
Yeah, get involved. It's really good times, joyous. New music time, Jake.
Music, yes.
What's been bubbling around on the surface? What's been catching your attention? What's been, peaking?
Friends of the show, friends of the magazine, Dork, Great Escape stage headliners. If you could avoid coughing during this, that'd be nice. Have a glass of water, mate. What are you doing?
I'm having a squash.
Oh, yeah.
Orange squash.
Right. Anyway,
yes.
VLURE have released another song called This Fantasy. It's really good. It's got a similar vibe to Cut It, which they released earlier this year. They bring in that kind of the female vocals to kind of counteract a lot of the terrifyingly industrial noises that are happening.
Yes, yeah. It balances out very nicely, doesn't it?
Well, I think like the first few songs that did that Euphoria EP were very like that kind of gritty, like hardcorey music, and then this feels a bit more like this feels like in a parallel universe, like what Garage could have like been. Like if Skrillex made Garage in like 2014.
Yes,
it's like still incredibly hard edged, but there's a lot more like melody in there, and a lot more almost surprisingly, considering the first EP was called Euphoria, a lot more euphoric moments in this. I think. Like, I feel like live a lot of these songs, there's going to be so much of that like wall of noise that it kind of clears, and there's a moment where it is just nice bits.
Nice bits. Yeah, no, nice it definitely feels like it's like the new kind of like stuff that are coming out from VLURE are like very like it's kind of like this kind of like slightly more approachable sense. Like, if they're incredible, and I feel like when you're like right in the midst of it, you're like, oh wow, here it all is, all in one. And this kind of feels like a nice way for people who may not have heard them before to kind of.
It's like someone holding your hand while they punch you in the face,
Exactly that. Yeah, like when someone mugs you and then comes back as a gesture of goodwill. And...
as a gesture of goodwill. What they've done is they've added some lighter vocals into this song as a gesture of goodwill.
As a gesture of goodwill, we thought we'd give you some lighter vocals. Really great to see them do this.
Continue to love VLURE, continue to love what they're doing, and the fact that no one else is doing anything similar. Just always really enjoy a band that have a very clear vision of what they want to do, and doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel like if you were making a playlist like of VLURE and related acts, you'd have much to add to it, Yeah.
It feels like it's creating its own world, and also just one of those bands. Again, need to see them live if you haven't seen them already. Like, it just is a must this year.
Plus, they suggested that maybe that we could have a crowdfunder to go to South by Southwest next year in Austin to ask them about bowling.
Yeah, very specific request, I felt there. Yeah. I just don't think I'd do well there.
The bassist of In Spiral Carpets liked that tweet, so I assume he will be funding our trip to South by Southwest with some kind of In Spiral Carpets reunion tour or something, fundraiser maybe.
Yeah. Just count us in. Like, we'll do that. Yeah. The funding that we always knew that was going to come in that sort of moment. I think on my
bingo card that was definitely there.
Yeah, I just don't think I'd do well in the heat at South by Southwest.
Well, it didn't look like this year. There was a big thunderstorm.
There was a huge thunderstorm. Yes, it did look. Yeah, that did look quite bad, to be fair.
So who knows?
I don't do well, but yeah.
Well, they do have aircon, so we just basically spend all the time indoors, wouldn't we?
Solid. Sounds good to me. Joyous. But yes, thank you, VLURE, for starting that campaign now. It's really appreciated, as always.
I was going to make a joke about it being a fantasy that we're going to South by, but I couldn't be bothered. This is This Fantasy by VLURE.
Fantasy. There's a fantasy that lives in me. And this fantasy, I can't see.
I love that you got to that at the end there, just kind of went, I'm just going to explain this. And they're like,
sometimes it's just easier,
Sometimes it's easier just to, lay it all out on the table. Give people an idea
some
of where
assembly required. Flat pack joke.
I've got more new music for you now.
Thank God.
Let's go to one of our Dork cover stars, Sabrina Carpenter, who has dropped a brand new track called Feather. It is very much like Sabrina, obviously, as an overview, is like, I don't know, I'm really happy that she's having this kind of big breakthrough moment over the past few months, because obviously the album, like Emails I Can't Send, which came out last year, was, I think, maybe just an incredibly underrated pop album. It was incredibly well done and put together. But I also feel like there is kind of like this sea of, there's a lot of kind of like this incredible new pop kind of like coming through. So I kind of worried that maybe Sabrina kind of like, I don't know, had kind of fallen through the cracks a little bit because it wasn't everywhere and there's so much going on. Whereas actually it just kind of feels like a natural, I don't know, it's kind of like built very nicely over the past few months. And now it kind of feels like it's really having
there's
that moment.
been a bit of like an explosion like with it, like very recently though. Like I think we were obviously aware of Sabrina, like really great, but like it does feel like suddenly like there's that kind of mainstream, like to the point where on Instagram the other day I was just getting recommended her account. Just like, oh yeah, you might want to follow this big pop star. And I was like, wait a second, I recognise this. We finally made it.
We finally made it. It's also like, it's just amazing to see kind of her this kind of growth that's happened and kind of now having her moment. I guess like Nonsense is the latest single that's kind of taken off really, and led to her being censored by the BBC.
Oh yeah,
go look up why.
Not now.
Well, you can do both. Have a little Google. There's a reason why. I think.
There's a reason why I'm censored by the BBC.
All in the part. This deluxe version of the album though is out, and it's really, really great. And this song is kind of like, I guess a really prime example of what makes her so brilliant. It's this kind of like razor sharp pop, but like just really like infectious lyrics and just like immediately kind of like there. It's playful. It's just really, really great. And I think she just has nailed it in a way that I'm, again, really glad that she's kind of getting her flowers now, rather than kind of like it's slipping through the cracks. So very, very happy for Sabrina Carpenter. Amazing. Looking forward to when she comes over to the UK, which is in the next few months.
It'll be good fun.
Really good fun. I think potentially the pop star of the year. Calling it now.
Whoa. What about REM?
Okay, we'll have a debate on whether REM are going to overtake. But let's have a listen to Feather by Sabrina Carpenter.
I slam the door, I ignore, I say no, 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 no more. I got you blocked, excited to never talk. I'm so sorry for your loss. I feel so much lighter like a feather with you off my mind. Through the memories like whatever, you're a waste of time. You signals and miss.
There it is. Joyous.
Sorry, just gonna go let my cat back in. Listeners at home, please entertain yourselves.
Let the cat in. Really?
Not even there anymore.
Not even there? Oh,
he was at the door, and then I was like, well, when we play a song, I'll go let him in. But now he's not there anymore.
No. Well,
he's gone back out, to explore.
Nutter.
Yeah. Absolute head case.
Does the cat want to be a special guest at some point on the show coming week? No, it's fair enough.
It's very shy. I've got a song.
Yes.
Which really is just an opportunity for me to explore some topics, the permanence of history, and the changing nature of our relationship with music and musicians.
Right, okay. Where's this going?
So Fred again, renowned aristocrat and boring techno idiot, has made a song with Skrillex and Fortet.
Yes.
So this is like, these three are for some reason the like people of the moment.
Yeah, they're having a real.
Fred again, I think, Mixmag actually did a really good article about Fred again and like what's going on there. So I'm not going to go into that, but please read that. Skrillex.
Just diving. Skrillex. Like, they've
Discuss.
Discuss. Look, right. I am a Fred again fan, first of all. I am.
Yeah,
I really
of course you are.
Yeah. What do you mean, of course?
You're a guy who works in the music industry who doesn't normally like dance music. Bicep and Fred again are, of course, for you. A man who spends most of his time in Hackney who doesn't listen to dance music. Fred again, great.
They've been having a real joyful time. They've been doing all these kind of like pop-up shows, haven't they? So they've done like Madison
must be
Square
great
Garden.
because like they only had several £1 million from their family before, but now they're earning their own money. I don't want to talk about Fred again. I want to talk about Skrillex. I want to talk about how Skrillex for years was like the punchline to like a joke. Like,
yeah,
everyone was like, Skrillex looks weird and dubstep is bad, right?
Yes.
And now, in the last like 6 months, suddenly Skrillex is incredibly cool, but in a sort of weirdly ironic way. Skrillex is the Rebecca Black of dance music.
Fucking that get it on a t-shirt. I guess people.
I'm for it because I always quite liked Skrillex. I cut my knee open in the mosh pit to Skrillex at Ziggett Festival. I still have a scar there, you know.
Do you remember what song it was? Was it the like?
It was Bangarang.
That one.
It was Bangarang.
Bangarang.
It was Bangarang.
He kind of like, this is it, right? Skrillex obviously became massive, like, in the early 2010s. It wasn't even dubstep; it was like bro step, wasn't it? It was like that sort of era.
Man's got bangers.
Has got bangers still. And then he kind of like, I think even he felt like he had to kind of get away from that, and obviously he did like the Jack U stuff with like obviously the Justin Bieber song "Where Are You Now," a bunch of other things. And then
But it felt like a man floundering to me.
But yeah, he was just around, wasn't he? He was doing his own thing.
Suddenly, Bangarang, he's back.
I think people have
Skrillex could headline a festival again now.
He could. You're completely correct. I think he's just like, and again, maybe this slips into kind of this rise of Fred again as well. It's like, don't get me wrong, like the association of them doing it all together has worked really well. But also they're making like tunes, like that Rumble song.
That's true.
Big song.
One thing I would say,
yes,
I quite like this song that I'm going to play. I mean, I'm only really playing it so we could talk about Skrillex, and I could cast some shade at Fred again. Fortet seems fine. Fortet feels like the dad that owns the people carrier to me. Like, he seems like a nice guy, doesn't he?
So Fortet is good with you. Skrillex
Fortet's
is good
fine.
with you.
Skrillex, great. Fred again, horrible.
I did not expect
this song is pretty good, right? It's a pretty good song, but I don't really understand how it took all three of them to make it and what all three of them did.
Yeah.
Because it's like having like three guitarists make a song together.
Yeah,
like,
like,
surely
what have
they all bring the same kind of stuff to the table.
Yeah. You're like, can you point out
they all
your
like
part,
on
please?
one laptop, like doing stuff.
Yeah, just like
got Fruity Loops
again.
open, just pulling bits out while the other one isn't looking.
Someone's just there, just like, oh, this. Is it like, they put a laptop in a room and everyone has like, an hour with it, and then
exactly,
kind of like,
or is it like a brainstorming session and then one of them puts it all together?
Like, I don't know if this is how happened at school, where like the idea would be like, oh, you start a story and then you pass it on to the next person to add the next
or like
sentence.
when you draw a bit of someone and then fold it over, and then someone draws like another bit and then you fold it over. But with a song.
What do you think would happen if like one of them just completely fucked it? Like, as in they were like, oh man, we've got a really good song here. Do you want to just jump in on this bit? It's like, yeah. Right,
what, just this. Like Fortet starts just adding loads of saxophones to it.
Yeah. I was just like, I completely fucks it completely. And they're like, okay, could we go back? Take that out? Or...
Also, do you think this is like a Lennon-McCartney thing? Like, Fred again did most of it, Skrillex did some, and Fortet didn't do that much?
I mean, it could be. It could genuinely be a thing where, like, it's like everyone's involvement, I'm sure, isn't exactly dead on the same in this song. No. And yet they're all there. So, I guess it's like the chain smokers, isn't it? What do they do?
Where are they? Maybe they're going to come back. You know who I think could genuinely have some kind of weird renaissance?
Yeah, go
I would say Macklemore, but he keeps making music, which ruins it. You need to go away for a bit.
Yeah.
I think LMFAO.
You know what? I can
I
see
think
it. That's the annoying
Sexy
thing.
and I Know It could become massive on TikTok, and then they'd have a comeback based on that.
Oh, yeah. Well, they went away kind of at the peak of their powers, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Like,
They were party rocking in the house, then they were sorry for party rocking, and then they were sexy and they knew it, and then they went.
Yeah. I can't get across just how big they were.
Yeah,
they were
ubiquitous. They were like everywhere.
Huge. LMFAO.
I think that was my first year of uni, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
The entirety of the uni were bang into Sexy and I Know It.
Sexy and I Know It.
It was like some kind of weird like leper colony for Sexy and I Know It. Like in hindsight, it was a disease.
It's just like, I'm just having a look here. Getting Over You, Party Rock Anthem. God, they sold 9.7 million copies of Party Rock Anthem.
Wow.
They played the Super Bowl. Truly a lot.
They played the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So during Madonna's Super Bowl halftime show, they came out and did Party Rock Anthem and Sexy and I Know It.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, when I walk in the spot, this is what I see. Everybody stops and they're staring at me. I got passion in my pants and I ain't afraid to show it. I'm sexy and I know it.
It's quite a
wiggle, wiggle,
anthem.
wiggle, 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 yeah.
No,
wiggle, 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 yeah. This is Baby Again by Fred Again, Boo, Skrillex,
Fucking this
and Fortet.
Yeah. I'll be honest, when you picked that song, I truly didn't expect the Fred Again, anti-Fred Again vibe that came flowing out there.
I never really understood Fred Again, and then I found out recently that he's like incredibly rich, and it all made sense. So now I hate him.
Yeah. So you
I was ambivalent about Fred Again until I found out he was loaded, and then I was like, "Oh, go away."
He'll be fine.
That's jealousy of the family finances, really.
Pure and utter jealousy. That's the kind of thing. Wonderful
Eat
stuff.
the rich.
Yeah, great tune. Yeah, shout out Skrillex though. Nice to have him around. You see his hardcore band. Like, is it a hardcore band? This was it. Like, he was.
Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? He looks more like he should have like a sort of tech metal band than a dubstep thing.
Or like Pendulum.
Yeah.
No,
not even like Pendulum. Maybe more like what are they called? Who did Through the Fire and the Flames?
Dragon Force, you're thinking?
Yeah. Or Trivium. He could be in Trivium.
Yes. With the lead singer of Trivium is called like Matt Heafy. And whenever I see the name, I'm like, oh, what's Matt Healy? Oh, no. Sorry. No. Different. Yep, sorry. Skrillex's band From First to Last. That was it.
Of course.
Shout out. Speaking of bands, I've got a new band for you.
Banj.
I've got the band here. Yes, Oliver Twist.
That's one first, about 3 of the listeners to understand.
Yeah, I just realised that, like, who's fucking gonna... Oh, no, I'm sorry, everyone. Go look up the band.
If you want to look into, like, how long you have to be famous before you can breathe easy, just look into the Banj, guys. Kanye West signed him. Kanye West in his music video had a huge hit back before Kanye West was a weird, anti-Semitic, awful person. And then he just vanished forever.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah. Gone. Out of there. See you later. Shout out to Banj, though. Still doing wonderful stuff. Talking about
still doing wonderful stuff.
I'm sure. No, he is. I'm sure. Knocking about. If you ever want to come on the show,
so that Burna Boy could run.
I mean, some would say. Let's talk about a new band and just move away from the Banj.
Okay.
new band called Balancing Act, who've got a new song out called Before I Shoot. This is like, it's going to be like a sweeping statement, but like being in like a new band's hard, right? Because like trying to like cut through and trying to like, make your mark and kind of build that up, like that's a tough thing, right? You got to try and like, especially as you're like basically like working out what you're going to sound like.
I gotta say, I didn't think it would, but this was actually, the stage was set pretty well here by talking about the band. So I think we've done well there.
We've done well for once. So it can be like tricky to break through, and you kind of have to have this like this kind of sense of right, who are we as a band? How are we going to present ourselves? And like I don't know, this kind of like added knowing of extra alongside obviously the tunes as well. And I feel like Balancing Acts kind of have that really. They've kind of only played really like a handful of shows like around kind of like in Manchester and in London. Still very very early days. They had obviously like a debut EP out last year, and they kind of I don't know they have this kind of like immediate kind of sense of this is a band and this is how like you can immediately capture who they are from kind of like especially seeing them live. They have that kind of like sense and feeling, and especially I don't know there's just a swagger about everything that they do, which is really really great. And like just seeing that kind of come to fruition on a track like this, I think is really good. I think this is probably their best song today because it just feels like it's more than just, okay, here is a new band who's trying to work it out. There is much more depth and layer to kind of everything that they're doing here.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I don't know, it's like a slow burning kind of like cut that kind of like builds and builds and builds and builds. Like it almost has that kind of like, it almost has like this kind of like theatrical kind of like element to it, but also this more just like almost classic kind of like alt rock kind of sign to it as well. I just think it's a really strong track from a band who feels like it's very much the beginning still. They already feels like they have this knowing of where they want to go. And
let's
it's really
hope
exciting.
they take lessons from Debange and avoid the pitfalls that he faced.
Yeah. I'm sure Debange is doing great. Like, I think if you gave him the option, like
in 2017, he released an album that had Oliver Twist on it 5 years after Oliver Twist came out, and after it had already been on another album. So I don't think he's doing that well.
I like the move of that though. Like, fuck it.
He also
We'll put the
had a song on that album featuring Gucci Mane. So, wonder how much he paid for that feature. Balancing Acts.
Yes, wonderful stuff.
If you stumble, if you find yourself not getting anywhere, maybe get Gucci Mane on one of your songs.
That's the next step, is it?
You don't need it now, but just one for the bank, just in case.
Yeah. Because he's so easy to get hold of, I'm sure.
Well, apparently.
Yeah, wonderful track. Really exciting stuff. Looking forward to what comes next for Balancing Act. They're playing some headline shows in the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, go check it out. I think they're going to be really, really great and really exciting. So, yeah, this is Before I Shoot by Balancing Act. There it is.
He released the album titled King Don Come with guest features from the likes of Gucci Mane, One Day Cole, Harry Songs, etc.
Is that someone called etc. or is it just etc.?
I couldn't tell you.
Like, I'm genuinely there like, is that like it could be someone called etc.
I think from what I can work out from reading Debange's Wikipedia, in Nigeria he's basically like Tiny Temper is over here.
He is an incredibly pivotal figure in
no longer taken seriously as a musician, but also still doing loads of like brand endorsements and earning loads of money off the back of the fact that he was once like the guy.
Yeah. I mean, he is. If you look at history, like he is actually an important figure, probably in the rise of Afrobeats. Like in terms of like kind of introducing it to like a wider audience and market. Debange did it, but. You know, what he's done since.
So serious.
What?
Out of nowhere.
I'm just in the case for Debange.
Let's talk about Black Honey's album, before you start opining on Fela Kuti and Femi Kuti's influence on the African diaspora.
Yes, our album this week is, as we've said, Friends of the Show, Friends of the Magazine. The act who's been on Down With Boring the most. It's official.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're on 4. Black Honey are on 4.
That's a lot, isn't it?
I'm talking about Black Honey. So they've
Not
got
to ban.
one.
We're on to Black Honey now.
Yeah, it's to ban, everyone. Yeah, that's one more than Baby Queen, I believe. So that's the race that's going on at the moment.
Yeah, Bella, gotta get back in that race.
Yeah. We drop a new track. Come back over. We'll sort it out. A Fistful of Peaches is the album from Black Honey. Third album, obviously following on from Written and Directed, which went storming into the top 10.
It did, thanks to us.
Yeah, we'll claim it still that it was us who did it.
Yeah.
Just like, it's kind of interesting because it's like this kind of like third, when you get to like a third album as a band, I don't know, I think you can fall into like certain categories. You can fall into like, I don't know, not a band who are like trading on their past successes, but it's like, okay, here's us, more of the same. Here's what we're doing. Here's the kind of vibe. There's the other one where you're like, okay, we're kind of on this huge kind of like, they're now at this superstar level, and so now it's like the expectation of having to deliver on that and everything like that. With Black Honey, it's kind of like they're following on from like just the kind of breakthrough really for them with that kind of second album, and kind of like seeing it do so well and seeing them do so well across like festival season as well. Last year kind of like felt like one where it's kind of like cemented like, okay, right, this is, like that they are, continuing to build and grow.
Well, I do think with them, like, because they came out a couple of big songs, then it took them a while to get the debut album out. There was always going to be kind of an uphill struggle to like release songs that were as big or as popular as like All My Pride, like stuff like that. Like, when you play a festival, like when you've got the new album or whatever, people are still going to want to hear like the original, like the song that got them into it. And I think it's quite telling that like Black Honey smashed it so much that on Spotify, I Like the Way You Die off the second album now has 2.5 times as many listens as All My Pride.
Yeah.
Like, it is a band that, like, with that, they released an album that was good enough that now people's, like, who have been with them the whole time have switched to their favourite song being on that one. And I see that happening with this new one as well. I feel like it's going to happen again. Yeah. They know how to write hooks. They're a band that know how to write a banger. Yeah,
it definitely feels like this album is like, I don't know, I think like probably their like most direct album to date. It feels like, when it's like one of those where it's like, oh, you need to kind of make an album, like you need to make a couple of albums to then get to the album, which is like, oh, this is them in their like purest form.
In the heyday.
This is what it feels like, and it's just like an amazing like collection of tracks, and everything is like this heavier element which we kind of saw on Written and Directed, on kind of like some of the tracks, like you say, like I Like You the Way You Die and stuff like that. We kind of heard like kind of moves towards that direction, and stuff like Disinfect and stuff. You can kind of hear this now come to fruition on this album. It feels I think there's that heavier, like meatier sound to it, isn't there? Yeah, 100%. Like that really is kind of like what it feels like. It feels like they've kind of got this kind of like confidence and freedom, and now they're just like willing to dive into everything. And especially live, it kind of feels like it's a live album that works so incredibly well in that regard. So it's punchy, and it just does feel like, right, this is us. Like they've kind of done the kind of like 2 albums, and they've got to this point where it's like, this is who we are in that essence, and it works incredibly well. And I think the result of it is you've got kind of like the most Black Honey album, if that makes sense.
The most Black Honey.
It is the Black Honeyest of the Black Honey.
The blackest of honeys.
Should we listen to one track from the album already? This is it's one of my favourites. This is Cut the Cord by Black Honey.
think like what's interesting with this album is the kind of heavier the bigger singles are like heavier, better, like more refined versions of what they've done already. But there's so
Yeah.
much on this album that's quite a left turn into like there's a lot more like space in some of the songs.
Yeah.
A lot quieter sections and a lot more confidence in the fact that like people are invested and like you don't need to like hit them around the face with the song to get them to pay attention, you know?
Yeah, and also kind of like I'm thinking of stuff like Nobody Knows, for example, on this album, which is just like very atmospheric, like really like I don't know, like just like shoegazy a lot in parts, like really like they can do something like that and it works in the context of the album as well. Like you can do stuff like I'm a Man, which is again like I guess we can play up on the fact that this is such an incredibly like personal album as well, in a way that kind of like I guess Izzy's songwriting has kind of gone right. I'm gonna put all of this out into song in a way that probably hasn't done before, and the result is just this incredibly personal. And I think that makes it's even more rewarding to see from afar. But then also it kind of you can feel then that it's so personal and it's natural feel to everything that of course this is going to be the album that works like incredibly well and stands out as probably their best they've done so far, because it is just them, like it's them at their core, it's just that.
I think also there is, which we've spoken about before, like the recording of the album, the album release thing that they did recently, where they booked an Elvis impersonator to play for some reason. This is a band that like clearly just love being in a band, and none of the songs they've done and none of the albums they've done sound at all like phoned in any way. Like it never feels like they're like going through the motions. And I think it does like show like their fan base are really, really willing and open to like when a new album's coming out, they're like, oh great, new music. Like they want to learn it, they want to listen to it, they want to hear it live. It's not a band that kind of are like, oh yeah, the new music's fine, but really I'm just here because I love the debut. Or even
I'm going to buy a ticket and I'll just go along to that and I'll just see the little bit and then
they really do like
my song.
pull their fans along with them, which I think is a lot harder to do when there's so much music around these days and such easy access to it.
Yeah, you are right. That's an under appreciated kind of like thing they're able to do.
They've got a very engaged fan base, and I think they deserve it as well because they do just keep getting better.
Yeah, exactly. It's building and building, and like I say, that sense of that sense of being in a band, and it kind of that energy comes off them, like when you're like on stage, on records, like you can't help but just be like, not only just like root for them, but also just be like, I love this. Like this is kind of like what it's kind of all about, weirdly. Like this is it, like right there. And the result is just an incredibly sharp, potent album that is so easy to get into as well. Like it's an album you can just dive in, and you're seeing that with the result. They're getting more plays across Radio 1 and stuff like that. It's building, and that's just a really great thing to see because I think they truly deserve it. And
plus, I think you can really appreciate the fact that this is a good album because when they released the second album, they booked us to do the album launch, and this time around they booked an Elvis impersonator. And despite the bitterness that lingers from that, and despite all personal friendship being severed because of that pain, we're still here willing to say that this is a good album.
Yeah, really, really great. Love all the combinations of like, I think if you're looking for just a brilliant band album, I don't think you're going to get much better than this year. Good fun and joyful times. Should we play another track then, Jake? What track?
Yeah, let's do it.
What track stands out for you?
Tombstone.
Tombstone it is.
Pretty mansion, Kardashian. We got a lifestyle. I wanted everything. Try so hard to fix my mental health. I'll be so invincible. With champagne, jet planes, I'll be getting around. I'm a broken just because
And there it is, Black Honey, A Fistful of Peaches. Go pick up the latest issue of Dork.
A Fistful of Peaches is just like one peach.
Yeah, unless they're small peaches. Can you get small
I don't think so.
No. So one peach. That's the
A
issue that you're
fistful
saying.
of peach.
A fist. Yeah. A peach of fist. Yeah. Go pick up a copy of the latest issue of Dork for the cover, chat, and feature, and all of that. Featuring Zero the dog. Very happy that Zero.
Good dog.
Yeah.
Good dog.
Good dog. Good dog. Yeah. Wonderful album. Wonderful band. Black Honey. Go listen. Well done. Oh no. I think this is going to be the worst one.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you probably you can probably swerve this for your own sake.
It's just, I literally looked down at the notes and I just went, "Oh shit!"
It's tweets of the week, everyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just gonna. No, it's not happening.
No.
Tweets of the week, everyone. Yes.
Tweets of the week.
Tweets of the week.
Tweets of the week.
Master Bruce. It's tweet of the week. I will look at the tweets and I will share the tweets, but I will not do that again. So,
there was a man, Master Bruce, who we were looking for when I was serving in the army, and we found the tweets in the dirt because some man just want to watch the world burn.
I will not retweet that, Master Bruce. I will not.
Oh, okay. All right.
First one.
Hosier.
Yeah. He's tweeted out some fun and games. He's tweeted out some real nonsense.
Yeah. You know Hosier, we talk about him all the time. Big fans.
Take me to church. That one.
Yeah, except he's not like in AC/DC.
Do you know who you are? Here's a good one. Do you think that with my voice like this at the moment, I could sing better or worse than Axl Rose at the moment?
Better.
Thank you. I think so as well. Hosier has tweeted. It's really, it really kicks off quickly, this tweet.
It does.
I can't believe the full stories surrounding this, so I'm going to clarify here. Yes, my baby teeth were found in a number of units from the last album pre-sales. No, we don't know how that happened. Yes, it will be available again this time due to popular demand.
Perfect.
It's kind of it's a new way to look at like album bundles, isn't it? You know,
well, some bands are like, oh, there's actually some blood in this, or something like that.
Yeah,
there's actually a baby tooth in this.
There actually is. Wild. I'll be honest.
But yeah, it's a lot. Here's one for you though. I've been reading this, and when I close my eyes, it flashes up in front of them. He says, yes, my baby teeth were found in a number of units, right?
Yeah.
And they'll be available again.
Yeah.
So you'd think there's a limited amount of baby teeth. But I've realised that he says, yes, my baby teeth. He doesn't necessarily mean the ones from his mouth.
No,
he could just have a collection.
That he owns. Yeah. Oh, that's my baby teeth there. It's like, what, yours? Like, oh, no, that's just... No,
have a look through my DVDs.
Yeah.
Like, have a look through my baby teeth.
My baby teeth. Like, what? Excuse me?
When I was in Barcelona last year for Primavera, we were eating dinner and a tall man with like shoulder length hair walked past, and 2 or 3 of the people I was with were convinced it was Hosier. Just because he was tall and had hair. I messaged Hosier on Instagram.
What, asking if it...
Yeah. I can actually, if you bear with me, I'll just get the message up. I was
to
quite
see if it
drunk
happens
at this point.
Well, please give the context of what time you would have sent this as well. Is it like 3 a.m. in the morning?
No. So we saw him at dinner time, but they kept going on about it for so long that it was like midnight or something. I was like, I'm just going to message him.
I love that. I've had enough of this. I'm going to find out. Yes.
I wrote, hey, big man, are you in Barcelona at the moment and roughly 6'7" or above? No response. So the next day at 4:22 p.m., I put, still waiting on an answer, sweetie, with a kiss. Still no response.
So you never know.
You'll never know.
You'll never know. Wow.
I'm pretty sure it was not Hosier.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it wasn't either. Amazing. So yeah, but he could have offered you baby teeth if it was Hosier.
Yeah, that's true. The man did seem to have a full set of teeth. So
What, jangling around his his neck, like a
pockets
necklace.
full of them.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, just spilling out of his pockets. Oh, it's my baby's. Wild. Also, just weird, isn't it? Imagine you get an album and then there's just some teeth in it.
Thing is, it either happened, which is really weird, or it didn't happen, which means it's really weird that he's thought of it.
Talking about it. Yeah. Either
So
way.
Either way.
Yeah. I mean, it's I just think I guess it's the next progression of kind of like this new. We've got the vinyl where Black Honey, for example, had the vinyl which had their blood in it for the second album.
That's what I'm saying. This does feel like the logical next step.
Yeah, so you can get just baby teeth of the pop stars that you buy the album off. Is there anybody whose baby teeth you'd want?
I don't think there is, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't even want my own.
I tell you what, you got to get rid of it, don't you? You don't need this anymore. With that in mind, and quite poetically, really, because I guess the young teeth were kind of destroyed and sent out to everyone. This is "Eat Your Young," which is the new track by Hosier, who's back as well. So that's nice.
7 ways that you can eat your young. Come and get some. Scared of the children for a walk on. Put in front of the table, selling bombs and guns. Twinkle and easy and eat your young.
Joyful stuff.
Quite horrifying, really.
Yeah, when you read it back, the baby teeth knocking around.
Imagine if any other bit of your skeleton fell out.
Your eye.
That's not part of your skeleton.
Your eye bone.
Your eye bone.
Yeah.
Your eye bone.
Your eye bone. Imagine
Think about what you're saying, Jamie.
We've got one more tweet.
Yeah, Moona.
Yes.
Have tweeted.
Yes.
Friends of the magazine.
Friends of the magazine, former Dork cover stars.
Of course.
A wonderful, wonderful band. Amazing. Remember seeing them at Great Escape last year, and it was incredible.
It was very good. I believe they stayed at my sister's girlfriend's house.
An incredible. Just a very quick pause there.
Found that out way later. Found that out after. For ages, we were like, "Oh, maybe we could get them on the show." They very rightly decided that they may swerve that one.
Yes,
had a busy Great Escape anyway,
and they were also being very protective on COVID as well. To be fair,
they were. Yes. I'm not holding it against them at all.
Oh yeah.
But and then I mentioned that a few weeks later to my sister, and she was like, "Oh yeah, they stayed on Becky, my girlfriend's floor." I was like, "Oh."
So Moona, if you shout out the experience, I guess.
Hope you had good time.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's our next step. We become custodians. We become B&B owners for bands.
What, like the Albion rooms? But if a journalist opened them instead of the Libertines.
Yeah, that'd be successful, wouldn't it? It's a great business model.
Like the range of B&Bs that Buster Bloodvessel, the lead singer of Bad Manners, opened in the late 80s and early 90s.
Fucking hell, yeah.
All of which folded.
We were talking about the DeBange reference and how 3 people would get it. I think we're on 0 for Bad Manners.
I reckon 1.
1. All right, okay, we'll give it 1. We'll give 1. What are Moona saying, Jake?
Oh, yeah. Moona tweeted, feeling grateful for raspberries. Thank you, God, for creating this beautiful fruit for us to enjoy.
I don't think I've ever ate a raspberry. Like a strawberry. I like strawberry. No, but I just feel like raspberries aren't the sort of thing that you're munching on. You know what I mean?
No, I like them. They're good.
Yeah. I went to Finland last summer.
You did, yeah.
And got well into blueberry juice. Big fan of that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's quite tart, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like a very sharp kind of juice. And I thought it was just really, really nice. I got really into it. I got bang up. I was like, yep, let's have more of that. But I did wonder if my mouth looked blue. And it kind of looked
it definitely did, yeah.
And it just kind of looked like I'd been, kind of I don't know, licking one of the avatar people. You know,
Joining the Blue Man group.
Yeah, joining the Blue Man group. It's like there's a ritual to get into this. Yeah, truly, yeah. So into that, but yeah, raspberry's not. I just don't think I'm a fan. I don't know why. I haven't got around to it, I guess.
So raspberries and blackberries,
Yeah,
obviously very similar.
yes.
Blackberries can be red as well.
Yeah.
Apparently, I read this in a place I seem to recall was a respectable repository of information.
Yeah.
I can no longer find it. Apparently, the only actual taxonomical difference is that raspberries, the core doesn't cut. Like when you pick them, they're hollow.
Yeah.
Whereas
Oh,
blackberries, they're not. Like when you the raspberry is like a cup made of raspberry, isn't it? A little hole in the middle.
Yeah.
Whereas a blackberry is not. Blackberry's just a whole fruit on its own.
It is. Yeah, there's no. Yeah,
apparently, that's the main difference.
Fair enough.
Something to think about. I like raspberries. The little seeds do get stuck in your teeth though, which is annoying. But I do enjoy them. I got bang into red currants last year.
Red currants, wow.
Yeah, they had a sale in like Morrison's or whatever.
Okay.
A winter berry.
Yep.
And they're really cheap. And they come on a big stem, and then you just pull down the stem, and all the time little berries come off, and then you put them in your mouth, and they're really, really sour. And I quite enjoyed it during lockdown.
Okay, that's a shout out. Grapes are all right as well.
Well, yeah, come on, that's entry level.
Sorry, I'll up my. Sorry, you know me so well. You know my fruit game is maybe not on the standards of you.
Yeah, come on, I'm talking red currants here.
Yeah, and I'm there like, what is that? You know,
exactly.
It could be anything.
I don't think they're a fruit. Raspberries. That's the issue.
They're not
with Muna's tweet. I think surely they're a berry, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I would guess.
Thing is with that, right? It's like, you know how they're like, oh, tomato is a fruit. And they're like, oh, a strawberry is a fruit or a berry. It's just that thing where it's just like, fuck off, you know?
Just leave it out. Just leave it out. Someone did respond saying, strawberries outsold. Whose opinion is this? Which one of you? And Muna responded, we love you, but you can't be serious.
There you go. Did you know that the raspberry is the edible fruit of a multitude of species in the rose family?
Oh, that's nice.
It is, isn't it?
See, everyone's learning something here. This is what is a really nice thing about this. So,
world production of raspberries in 2020 was 895,000 tons, led by Russia with 20% of the total.
So do we? Are we anti-raspberries now? That's kind of where we're at.
Well, anti 20% of them.
Okay. Okay.
I wonder which 20%.
It's like a 20% in the corner. You're like, oh yeah, this one. Yeah,
this bit.
I
guess they are red, aren't they? So makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Mother Russia.
If you asked Muna, oh, here are some raspberries, they would say, that's what I want by Muna.
That's just what I want. I want the full effects. I want to hit it hard. I want to dance in the middle of a gay bar. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's what I want. There's nothing wrong with what I want. Hey, yeah. I want the fireworks. I want the chemistry. I want that girl right over there to wanna date me.
And there we have it. Another sterling week, another sterling time. I've gotten through, and my voice has gotten better as the show's gone on.
That's weird. You've evolved and adapted.
Yeah, I've powered through, which I'm sure is the medical advice that everyone should follow. Joyous.
Jamie, the rest of the day for you is what exactly?
I have to leave right now.
So this is a Sunday, and Jamie has made me start recording the show at like 8:30 in the morning because he has stuff to do.
Yeah.
What is that stuff?
I'm going to a football match, Brighton versus Grimsby.
The big one.
Enter result here, whatever happens, because obviously that'll happen.
Jamie's a Crystal Palace fan, so it makes extra sense for him to go into Brighton versus
nice
Grimsby.
Trip, innit? And then I'm doing that, and then coming back into Brighton, and then going to see Tom Grennan tonight at the Brighton Fair with my mum.
There you go.
Nice. With some people supporting. I don't know who it is. Gracie support him. That's great. That'd be good.
What was your mum's name? Is it Karen?
It is Karen. Yes.
Yeah. Karen, I know you're a listener, and I know Jamie doesn't acknowledge that, but have fun at Tom Grennan. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Brilliant. Thanks. Really appreciated. What are you doing for the day?
I don't want to say because I think you'll bully me.
You can tell me off air. It'll be fine.
Okay. It's not like a sex thing.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.
I'm just going to a local left wing bookshop. So that sounds really nerdy, doesn't it?
But not dodgy. Just
now I feel like I have to say that because I accidentally set it up to make it sound like I was doing some like sex tourism or something.
So he won't
go
be
to Soho and stare in the windows.
No sex tourism, but books for Jake.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, exactly. Cheers to Alice from Swim School for coming on, and we'll see you next time, I guess.
Good night and God bless.
Wow.